What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Got breaking news, big news, involving WBO welterweight champion and number one on my pound for pound list, Terrence Bud Crawford, who is said to be in negotiations with number 2 ranked in the WBO, former 2-time welterweight champion, Sean Showtime Porter. Now the fight is supposed to go to purse bid tomorrow, September 2nd, but it has now been pushed back to September 14th as both camps are said to be in serious negotiations. And a lot of people believe close to agreement. For them to ask for more time, they must be close to agreement for a big fight. Not a mega fight, but a big fight involving Terrence Bud Crawford and Sean Showtime Porter. I think the main problem with this fight is how well would it do on pay-per-view? Because this is a good fight. But neither fighter has shown to be a pay-per-view attraction. And you got a guy that's basically getting overpaid. Let's just call it what it is. Ain't nobody want to talk about this, but Terrence Bud Crawford, ain't his fault. You know, they offered him that type of deal, he took it. You know, him and his manager, Bo Mack, they did a good job of putting that ski mask on and robbing Top Rank Boxing. Because Top Rank Boxing, no matter what, they got to pay him, no matter who he fights. He could be fighting Jason on Friday the 13th, he could be fighting Freddy Krueger, he could be fighting Sasquatch, he could be fighting the Tooth Fairy, he could be fighting anybody. They got to pay him $3.5 million at a bare minimum. And that's part of the problem. So the starting point is $3.5 million for Terrence Crawford. Then you got, what is Sean Porter gonna ask for? Well, he getting 40%, so let's just make that $2.5 million. So you basically got $6 million right off the top. You ain't got no money allocated toward the undercard. So put another $2 to $3 million to the undercard. That's around $9 million. So that's what you're looking at with the PBC or Top Rank Boxing bidding on this fight. You put the pay-per-view price, in my opinion, you need to put the pay-per-view price at $49.99. Let's just round that off and say $50. The fight does 200,000 pay-per-view buys. That means it does 10 million. That means that the PBC will walk away with $1 million profit. That's not bad. That's what this fight gonna have to do. It's basically gonna have to do $200,000. I'm basically telling you that 200,000 is the threshold for this fight to make money. And that's with Terrence Crawford getting his $3.5 million. And that's with Sean Showtime Porter getting $2.5 million. That's the same money that Keith One-Time Thurman got to fight Manny Pacquiao. So I think Sean Showtime Porter should accept $2.5 million. He should take that and run with it. He shouldn't be saying, no, let's see if I can get 3. How you gonna get 3 to fight Terrence Crawford and again, Keith One-Time Thurman and got 2.5 to fight Manny Pacquiao, who is a bigger star than Terrence Crawford. And Pacquiao Thurman is a bigger fight than Porter and Crawford. Now Porter and Crawford, in my opinion, is a more meaningful fight, but it's not a bigger fight monetarily than Thurman and Pacquiao. Now Pacquiao and Ugas did 250,000 pay-per-view buys. So I think Crawford and Porter, goal should be to do 200,000 pay-per-view buys. I think that's a reasonable goal to meet. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. But that's the breaking news. The purse bid has been pushed back to September 14th. What does that mean? Does that mean that both parties are close to agreement? Or does that mean that both parties know if the fight goes to purse bid that the fight is dead on arrival? DOA. We will see what happens. We will see what transpires, man. But I was really looking forward to the purse bid tomorrow, man. This was the most anticipated purse bid in the history of boxing. And I'm not being over dramatic. What purse bid have you known people have been talking about and been anticipating than the Crawford-Porter purse bid? If that purse bid would have went down tomorrow, how many YouTube channels would have been doing 2 or 3 hour shows talking about the purse bid? You know what was gonna happen tomorrow, man. They would have been doing this like it would have been almost like in anticipation of a big fight going down tomorrow, man. It wasn't, people more excited about the purse bid than it is about the actual fight. And I was thinking to myself the other day, I said, if this purse bid get as much buzz as the fight, or as the fight get as much buzz as the purse bid, man, they gonna do some good numbers on pay-per-view. Because everybody was talking about this purse bid. Everybody excited about this purse bid. Everybody wondering if this purse bid was gonna actually go off. People was wondering like, okay, who's gonna walk away from this purse bid? Will it be the PBC or will it be Top Rank Boxing? But now we're gonna have to wait another 13 days if it get to that purse bid on the 14th of September. So we will see what happens and we will see what transpires. But that's the breaking news. That's the latest and the greatest. The Crawford-Porter purse bid has been moved back to September 14th. And it remains to be seen what this actually means. Does it mean we're close to a deal? Or does it mean that both parties, by hook or by crook, want to avoid a purse bid by any means necessary? Because they know a purse bid is a death knell to this particular matchup. Let me know your thoughts and hit the like button if you like the content in this video, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.